Hey everyone, before we get started with this WIP and chat, I just wanted to let you know that the ADHD won in this video, and I decided to just roll with it. So I didn't edit out as much as I probably normally would, but I am trying to be authentic to myself. So enjoy! Hello everyone, it's Lynn from Lost in Iowa. I hope you are all doing well and enjoyed the holiday. If anyone was wondering why I didn't have as many videos done in the past week or so, y'all, it's been like 100 degrees outside nearly every day, and my craft space is in an attic, so a lot of the stuff I film is ASMR, and that precludes the use of my air conditioner and fan if I want it to be a good ASMR. So that means trying to get it as cool as I can up here and then shutting everything down so that I can film until I can't take it anymore and then shut the camera off. So for my own sanity and safety, I kind of backed off my intense filming schedule of the first couple weeks of the channel, just so I could be downstairs and comfortable. Now, obviously, I probably could film downstairs as well, but then we would have all of the kids to contend with. So it's kind of one of those you're damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. And so I just didn't. So that was going on. And then other than that, just trying to make some changes to my setups to improve the video quality. I'm trying to keep the color relatively warm. I'm still fighting a little bit with overcorrection, overexposed, or oversaturated. I don't really like how those look. I mean, I get it, they're bright, catchy, you know, but that's just not me. And then that kind of got me to thinking about other things. So I guess I kind of went down like a rabbit hole of what do I want to get out of this channel. So kind of what started the whole thought process behind the channel was I lost my job, right? Like lots of people in the last year or so, lost my job. And I haven't been able to find work since. Now, I was blessed in the fact that my former job, I made a substantial amount of money. Hi everyone, editing Lynn again. I realize now that a substantial amount of money is fairly subjective depending on where you live. As someone who grew up in poverty, I was making around $100,000 a year when you calculated in my bonuses and such. So for me, that was a substantial amount of money. And I have been out of work since January of 2025. And so I had money set aside to last us for quite a while. And it also allowed me to buy a lot of diamond paintings. And I used the diamond paintings for my mental health because corporate burnout is a real thing. And so I dealt with that. And I thought about it. And I'm like, well, if I'm painting for my mental health, then there's probably other people who do the same thing. And, you know I've seen others who've talked about it before in the past when I was more active in the communities. So, I was like, well, if I'm sitting here unemployed and diamond painting to save my sanity, then I might as well film it. So that way, maybe we can keep each other sane. You know what I mean? So that was my goal for initially starting the channel. you know, I'm painting anyway. Why not film it? Why not share my story? Why not help others? Maybe others can help me, you know, that sort of deal. But then it was becoming so stressful just trying to get it set up that, you know, I almost didn't want to do it anymore, which was not the intent or the purpose. Plus, you know, the added stress of bills keep coming due. The severance package is gone now. So then I have to make other decisions about what to do. You know, because we got all the medical bills for my son's surgery. I've had surgery in the past couple years. So we've got the medical debt. I can't be buying diamond paintings anymore. Well, I don't know how to put this without coming across wrong. I have a lot of diamond paintings collected over the years when I had money. I believe there's about 160 kits now. Most of them are Diamond Art Club. So I'm not lacking for canvases, let's put it that way. But then when I look at some of the top viewed videos, it's all hauls. And I can't compete with that. So I guess, I don't know how to attract the right audience for what I'm doing. Because if you're coming here looking for the latest and greatest canvases, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I mean, let me back that up just a little bit. I have an unopened box that I can do an unboxing of that my husband bought me as a gift for the channel. I do not know what he bought, but I do know he logged in and looked at my wish list and got me some things that I wanted. And something he said would make me very happy. And then I also bought something from the anniversary collection, which arrived today. Or anniversary sale, I should say, not collection. Which arrived today. So I technically have the last 2 unboxings that I could possibly do for quite a long time. So I can do that content, but after that, I mean, I'm not going to have any new content on that front. So it'll be just WIP and chats, and which I'm still not fully comfortable doing, if you couldn't tell. So just WIP and chats, my ASMRs, and maybe unboxings if I ever get this darn dragon done. Oh my goodness, there's something on it. I bet the cat's walked on here. Is that even the right spot? Yes. Goodness. Lost my train of thought. It has completely derailed. I have a pen from Karen Bass I can unbox that I haven't opened yet. I have pens that I've unboxed myself, but I've never used, that I could do a pen tour, I guess. I don't have as much as a lot of people, but I have a big stash. So that's a blessing. I don't have to worry about buying canvases for a while. But as far as, you know, expecting new canvases, might not happen, at least for a while. And I don't know anything about most of the cheaper shops, because I mean, if we're talking like small shops, they run sometimes as high in cost or more than the big 2. So I wouldn't say that's affordable. So we're talking, you know, the Temus, which I don't use, or Amazon, or Make Market, things like that. So I know I can get some smaller stuff there if I want to do it that way. But yeah, I just don't know what to do. Also, I was thinking about the reason I stepped back from the diamond painting community to begin with. And so that made me also think about my channel and how I kind of started it, where I want it to go from here. And right now I'm trying to find a specific color that I cannot find. Got it. Okay. So, you know, as an introvert, we've kind of talked about that a little bit before. I'm fine with not talking. But sometimes talking in itself is therapy. So I should probably keep trying to do it. It'll get easier the more I do it. Same thing that happened at work, you know. The 9 to 5, the more you talk, the more you give speeches, the more you do presentations, the easier it gets, right? So I'm trying to power through and do these things, and I've just bounced completely off the damn topic again. I think I'm going to have to actually start making scripts, and I don't like that thought because I'm trying to be just myself. So let me try to get back onto the track. So how I started the channel, what I was doing when I was in the community before. So it was like I hadn't diamond painted for like a year and a half, and I left diamond painting. So that would have been, I did drills and chills. So I'd been active in the community for a few years, hadn't participated in any events, kind of lurked because I am that introverted type person we talked about. And I decided, you know, I'm seeing all of these people having so much fun, you know, doing events. And I'm like, well, I don't really have to talk to people. I could just, you know, interact with in comments and things like that. So it shouldn't be that bad, right? And so I did drills and chills. And I joined whatever the Bella Art Day Nicole event was in 2024, I think. And you know, they went well. The Halloween events went well. So I decided, okay, well, actually, no, it was Halloween. Hold on, let me back up. So I did the drills and chills, the Bella Art Day Nicole Halloween events, and then the Rokkari Dark Art diamond painting event. And so this is my first time doing events. And I realized that there's reasons why everyone does certain things with events. So I'm trying not to be a little judgmental. But at the same time, you're joining a Halloween event, number one, for fun and community. And then you're told in 2 of those groups that you can't use dark art for a Halloween event because it might scare some people. Now, I don't find Christopher Lavelle's stuff that scary. I've seen scarier. But if you wanted to continue participating, you would have to not use anything like that. So I did a cutesy, I think I did Annie Candy, the little ghost with the pumpkin bucket for that year. And I had to purchase that myself because it wasn't something that I would have ever bought myself just so I could fit in and be part of the group. Now, Rokkari's group was absolutely open and let me paint whatever I wanted, no judgment there, but their stuff tends more towards the gore and the horror, like scary, really scary shit. Which doesn't bother me, I'm fine with it, but that's also not something that I would purchase. So it kind of just made me feel like I didn't belong anywhere. That like there was no place in either of the communities for me. I was sitting here thinking, and when I started my channel, I went straight into florals and pastels with the mini dazzles because it was safe. And so I was thinking to myself, why am I pandering to a community that I left because I didn't feel welcome in, based on the artwork that I like? And I do intend to finish the mini flowers because it was, I should probably finish painting. I do intend to finish the mini flowers because I can't leave it unfinished. But I think going forward, and kind of with this canvas that I started, I'm only going to buy what I actually want to buy. I'm not going to buy anything to make people happy or to be seen, and paint what I want to paint and buy what I want to buy without restriction. So that's what I'm going to do. And I had started this canvas before I started the channel, which is, the forest dragon we talked about before. And I had hesitated even showing this, which is not dark at all, but it's not the cutesy pinks and pastels and, things like that, which is fine. If you like that, that's fine. That's great. It's not for me. So I just need to find my people, I guess, where you like things a little bit darker, or on the mythology side, or on the fantasy side, or even comics. I got comic book character diamond arts, all the way up to some anime stuff. Like I have all of the Sailor Moons from collection stuff from Diamond Art Club. Am I even allowed to swear on YouTube? I'm probably gonna have to edit that out. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to do what I want and not worry about what everyone else is doing. Plus, I think it kind of serves an underserved part of the community, because I can't be the only one who kind of is between two extremes, it seems. Like you're either into the bright pastels or you're into the gore and horror. There's nothing in between. Oops, missed some. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to just focus on what I like and share that with you. And if you like that, then that is fantastic. So anyway, I was also going around and looking at some of the people I used to follow back when I was more involved and had not given up diamond painting. And I was surprised at how many shops have went out of business or vanished. Even some YouTubers have just kind of fallen off the face of the earth, and maybe they just moved to different platforms that I'm not aware of, which is a little disappointing. And I have got to get this attic organized. I cannot find anything I want right now. Oh, and then I've noticed I'm not getting as much painted now. I used to be able, like I did the whole other half of this canvas, and you can't see it because I'm zoomed in so closely. But I did the whole other half of this canvas with the dragon in 2 weeks. And I've been on the channel for about a month, and this is all I have done in a month. So then I was thinking, well, maybe I need to just stop trying to make everything perfect and just record myself painting and deal with it later. That's probably not a good thing to do. That's kind of what I'm leaning to at the minute. Because I think, I'm also a gamer, so when I think about things like Twitch, for instance, I could just live stream 8 hours a day diamond painting, because sometimes I do that. I just sit for hours and diamond paint. So why am I limiting myself to an hour when I can diamond paint as long as I want to and still record? I think, let me grab some more colors here. I think what's stopping me there is, well, I won't be talking. Unless somebody shows up and wants to talk to me, I guess. So it would be a good opportunity for my ASMR content, I suppose. Let's just get a couple of these out so I don't have to keep reaching for them. Okay. Move those out of the way here. So anyway, yeah, what else is going on in my life? Well, I'm not impacted directly, but my local community here, we've had a building partially collapse in our downtown. And when I say town, I think we have less than 20,000 people. So it's not huge by any stretch of the means. I grew up in a smaller town, but I'm sure for some people you could barely call that a town. But anyway, our downtown is pretty rough anyway. There's lots of cute small shops down there, but they are never open because I think most of them have, day jobs. So they're either by appointment only or they're only open on weekends. I mean, it's just, we don't shop down there very much. But they had a building partially, like the foundation shifted. So they've had a whole section of downtown, that block or that intersection, closed for over a month. And then we got a lot of rain and the building next to it shifted and partially collapsed onto the roof of the first building. So now they are evacuating the entire block and then even up into neighboring blocks. And so all these small businesses, including the few, like the restaurants that were actually open and serving the public, are having to find places to go. And there's just not places to go here for them. So it's basically going to probably put some of these smaller businesses out of business permanently, which is sad. I know one business gave up their location, the Chicago-style hot dog store, closed their business to give their space to the Puerto Rican restaurant, which was really nice of them. But then they may just be on borrowed time still, because depending on how bad the structural situation is, I mean, I can't remember how many buildings they said they were looking at. And for whatever reason, our mayor and only, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to say what's going on. Nobody wants to deal with it. They had a city council meeting that got very heated. And basically they just didn't have information. I mean, the whole evacuation was kind of botched. The way they did it, it wasn't applied equally to everyone. So some people were not able to get all their stuff out of the buildings, and some people were allowed to go in after everybody else had been banned. It was a whole thing, depending on who you were and who you knew. And so now the city's hiring an outside PR firm because they can't, I don't know, for lack of a better reason, they can't be open and honest about what the plan is and what's going on down there, which led to another open or heated city council meeting. And, you know, because we've had them end a lot of services in the past year because we don't have as much funding because taxes were cut and now we can't afford to pay for things like our library and our art center and other things. So they've been cutting all kinds of costs everywhere throughout the city. And now they're going to hire a fancy, high-powered, out-of-town PR firm to cover their butts right now. So that has a lot of people upset in town, which I hate because we should be able to come together. And there has been a lot of people coming together helping people who've been displaced because there was apartments above these businesses too. So it's impacting quite a few people in our community. And it just feel bad. There's nothing I can do about it except maybe volunteer my time. But it's just a bad situation all around. It's all anybody is talking about right now. So hopefully they figure out what they're doing soon because, you know, there's some people saying that they're just going to take advantage of it and tear everything down because everybody who's kind of in control of the city right now is also involved in the Chamber of Commerce and stuff and are all business leaders in their own right. So they want to a profit motive, let's say. And I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it kind of tracks with the way they've been running the government the last couple of years. And then you got the historic preservationist people who are like, we need to preserve our historic downtown, you know. Which I tend to agree with if it can be done safely. I don't want, you know, to spend a lot of money trying to fix something that can't be fixed. But if it can be, I think they should give a good try. Because we could have a fantastic downtown. I mean, I think of... What the heck was that? I think of... places like Galena, Illinois, where their shops are open on a regular schedule. They have lots of cool stuff to go down and look at, activities to go do, lots of places to walk and see things. And, you know, I think we could do that here, but it doesn't seem like anyone cares, for lack of a better word, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. I really hope this kind of heat wave breaks. It probably won't. We're getting to the part of the growing season with the corn where we get the corn sweats going, so the humidity is so high it hits you like a brick wall when you go out. Being in the attic is going to be a killer situation. So that brings up another thought, is maybe I need to just start filming in the middle of the night. I haven't been sleeping well lately anyway. So that's always a possibility. But yeah, I don't know. It's getting hot though. So We're getting pretty close to our 30 minutes I was trying to aim for anyhow. Maybe a little bit shorter today than it was last time. But yeah, so I guess let me know in the comments what kind of content you would like to see. So do you want me to do the hauls from, I can do, you know, the anniversary collection, the gift from my husband, and the new pen. That's not new, but it's new as in I haven't opened it yet. In an unboxing video. I could do a stash video. I could do a putty tutorial since I use alien putty exclusively, and I don't think many people, I don't know if many people use it or if that's another controversial situation with alien putty. So I guess my call to action for this week is, yeah, let me know what kind of content you would like to see me work on next. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.